Hockey friends and families, guess what? We have reached 400 episodes of this show. And whether you're listening to this before one of our older episodes or you're involved in the 400th episode celebration, we want to welcome you. And first off, thank you so much for allowing us to do this show. To celebrate, we're going to be doing top 5 episodes. So top 5 episodes with NHL guests, top 5 episodes for parents, for players, for coaches, for goalies. Top 5 of Our Girls Play Hockey, top 5 episodes of guests that really inspired us. And we know you're going to enjoy that. So we also want to announce during this time that we are really proud that we've teamed up once again with NHL Sense Arena to be our title sponsor from now through the season. And I got to tell you, as a coach, as a parent, I really love NHL Sense Arena. It's a virtual reality hockey training platform on the Meta Quest. It's for players, it's for goalies. It really helps to develop their hockey IQ. And whether you're a squirt or a pro, it's being used by all of them. Really, it's officially licensed by the NHL and it's official partners with USA Hockey and the OMHA up in Canada. A lot of people are using this. I want you to check this out because what I love about it, in addition to my kids using it to get better, is the tracking features. And it also keeps them off maybe some of the other things like YouTube or other video games that they might be playing that I don't think have a lot of value. So they made us a pretty cool URL, sensearena.com/OKPH. Again, that's sensearena.com/OKPH. Please check it out. Support them. It helps to support us as a show. And I promise you, for the cost that they're asking for, which is $299 for a full year, which is less than one session of ice, it's really going to pay off for you and your family. Again, if you're hearing this message, we are celebrating 400 episodes of Our Kids Play Hockey, powered by NHL Sense Arena. Let's get into it right now. Hello, hockey friends and families around the world, and welcome to another special edition of Our Kids Play Hockey. We are continuing our 400 episode celebration with another best of episode. And today's topic is the top 5 coaching episodes. So whether you're coaching mites or midgets or just getting started, these episodes are full of practical tools and timeless advice for coaches and also parents and players, right? It's always a good thing to understand what's going on behind the coach's mind. So let's dive right in. The first one we're going to talk about is 5 things coaches should do to prepare for the youth hockey season. I remember doing this episode. It was a really great one. We laid out 5 foundational steps for coaches to hit the ground running before the first whistle blows, right? From staff building to culture setting. This episode is a preseason checklist in podcast form. So let's go check out the clip. It's a clip on why your coaching staff's communication sets the tone for everything. No matter what age you're coaching, you got to surround yourself with good people. And Mike, again, when you look at what does that mean, good people, right? Sometimes you're given several people of, hey, they want to volunteer and they want to help out. Sometimes you're not. The key is this to me within this, and you're going to hear this a lot in this episode today with a lot of these tactics. You got to be able to communicate effectively with who's ever there, right? Because there's going to be days you can't make a practice, they can't make a practice. You could potentially disagree on the direction the team is going on. You got to be able to communicate because I have seen, I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this, I've seen what happens when coaches don't communicate and they fight at practice, not physically, but I've seen coaches yelling back and forth on other sides of the ice, which, I mean, the kids are watching that, and it's kind of ridiculous. So pick the people around you wisely. Yeah, this is something, again, we work on every year with our coaching staff. Just because the coaching staff was great one year, and a lot of times you have different coaching staffs every year. That communication is everything. So listen, you should go back and listen to this one because you'll walk away with clear strategies to build trust, create structure, lead your team with confidence from day one. That was the goal for the episode, and we definitely accomplished it. Okay. Moving on to the next one. The episode was the crucial role of passing and teamwork in youth hockey. This was actually a question that was sent to us that we tackled of why passing and unselfish play are essential building blocks of hockey IQ and chemistry. So here's a clip on teaching the why behind each drill and how it can transform young hockey players from just doing a drill into understanding a drill. You tell those kids to do a drill, they will do it exactly as you tell them to do it, right? Because that is what they're trained to do. They go to school, do this. They go home, do this, right? But if they're not picking up the why, they will do it and never remember the reason for doing it. They're just doing it because you're telling them to do it. Now, Mike, to your point, it was beautiful the way you described that blue line and the rules as an advantage. Here is the why behind getting it over the blue line and how this can contribute to breaking it into the other zone or probably more importantly, stopping the puck from coming back into our zone for a scoring chance. if you teach the kids the why we're passing on this drill, why we're, or Mike, the lacrosse thing you said is also brilliant. Christy, you too. Why, when you enter this area, there's a high probability of a scoring chance from a pass. Now you are teaching awareness, and now you are teaching the game. Yeah, if they're just going through the motions, that's not enough, right? As we said in the clip, teach the game, not just the drill. Love that. So why you should go back and listen to the one, it's packed with examples, phrases, and drills to shift your team from puck chasers to playmakers, which is something we want. And you can never underestimate how being a playmaker is important in the game. All right. Next one, another very popular episode. And I remember when Mike and I recorded this one, we were not sure how it was going to be received. And it ended up being a hit, right? And that episode's name was The Underappreciated Defenseman. And we wanted to shine a spotlight on youth hockey's unsung heroes, right? The defensemen, right? Goalies are heroes too, don't get me wrong. But we did explore how smart D play anchors team success and how coaches, really importantly, can better support that position. Okay, so in this clip, we're explaining why every role, whether 5 or 25 minutes, it's a time on ice, matters the same. Okay, so check this out. You can't create offense without defense. Why don't we begin there and how important that position is to the game?
Yeah, I think the ability, when you're watching a player and you're watching a defenseman and you're looking at trying to figure out, is this player a quality player for my team? Is somebody that's desirable to me? Is it somebody that I can use to help me create more offense? That's honestly the player that can play just D. Again, there's a lot of the Makars out there, and everybody likes the Bobby Orr analogy of grabbing the puck off the face, off a face-off, weaving through a couple of players, creating that offense. But without solid defense, and I think a lot of coaches, most coaches, fall on the side of, I'd rather be in a 2-1 game than a 10-9 game.
Yeah.
But again, 10-9 games are fun. Fans probably love them. But if you're a coach, that's the ability to have a solid defenseman, somebody that plays defense, and a team that plays defense allows you to be so much more creative offensively, because then it's more freewheeling. So if you think about how teams are structured, the ability to be in a structured defensive mode, you don't hear much about free play in the defensive zone. You certainly hear it in the offensive zone.
Yeah, it's true.
But in the defensive zone, it gets really just down to being a very core, solid, positional player.
It's a great clip. And look, while you should go back and listen, it redefines defense as a role of pride and purpose, and it gives you new language to coach that position, right? So if the coach is listening, this one's a great tool for your toolbox on how to approach the defensive side of the game. The next one for coaches, you're going to have a coaching episode. You have to bring on a great coach. And the episode title was The Art and Science of Coaching with NHL legend, Stanley Cup champion, international coach, Mike Keenan. Okay, the episode title wasn't fully that. It's just The Art and Science of Coaching with NHL legend Mike Keenan. We had Iron Mike on, and man, he shared stories from his entire legendary career, blending technical wisdom, deep emotional insight. I mean, the guy really dove in. It was based on his book at the time. It's out. You should go get it, Iron Mike. But it's a rare glimpse at the human side of elite coaching. And for those of you who know Mike Keenan, the human side was not something he was really readily showing to people throughout his career. So in this clip, listen to Coach explain why every player must accept and own their role. Very similar to the last clip. Check this out.
That builds an expectation that all players must contribute, regardless of what their role is. If a guy's playing, and I'm talking about pro now, if he's playing 5 minutes, those 5 minutes are just as important as Wayne Gretzky's 25 minutes. Because if he doesn't do his job in those 5 minutes, the team isn't going to be successful.
Right.
So to get them to understand that, first of all, and then to buy into it and to accept it. And that was probably the main component of all championship teams that I coached, that there was no selfish components. They had sometimes had to learn to accept their role. It was maybe a little bit less than they wanted, or sometimes it was greater than they wanted, or they excelled and built themselves into a a role that was even greater than they expected. So that bonding, if you like, process is extremely, extremely important for a team to succeed. This is a team sport.
Now you know where we got our quote from. It's a great clip there, right? Listen, I don't think I have to convince you to go back and listen to this one if you haven't, but why you should. It's just rich with wisdom from decades of one of the greatest coaches of all time. And he delivers it with real vulnerability and strength, which I don't think any of us were expecting from Mike Keenan. So definitely go check that out. All right, next one. This episode was literally titled, "This Tip Could Save Your Team This Season." And what we do in this one is we introduce a really simple but powerful idea that monthly team building sessions that address communication, trust, unity, everything that goes into team building is something you must do or it will cause you problems throughout the season. Obviously, this is something I do professionally outside of this podcast, and we really dive into it. So in this clip, we're going to talk about how off-ice team building creates unexpected joy and connection across all age levels. Check this out.
Did a brick weekend, and our junior kids were the kids that actually helped facilitate it. And after I did the team building and the activities with these 7 and 6 year olds and 8 year olds, the older guys were begging to do it with their team. And they were just helping. They're like, we want, like, that was unbelievable. Like, look at the kids and they had fun and they got involved and they wanted to be involved. Everybody wants to have that feeling of success. If you can do it off the ice, even better. We're in helmets and we don't see faces, and it's just the levels of kids are just, your goalie is not really, the nice thing on team building exercises off the ice is everyone's pretty much equal. It's all, we're all in the same, kind of constraint system, and we can do what we want with it.
I love it. And again, look, why you should go back and listen to this. It probably is one of the most underestimated aspects of team coaching. Look, with this episode, I remember we offered, and this offer is always still open, the chance to download our free team building exercise booklet. The amount of coaches that have reached out to us and said, hey, can I have that? Because I've had to send all of them, has been pretty prolific. If you want that, team@ourkidsplayhockey.com, just email us and ask for it. We'll send it to you. But again, it's an easy overlooked tool that brings your team closer together and makes on-ice performance better, okay? Your team's got to be bonded if you want to succeed. So check that one out. That's it. We got through all of them. That's the top 5 episodes for coaches. We hope you enjoyed that. Again, new insights, fresh ideas. That's the idea here, is to give you a little taste of these episodes so you'll go back to find them and find out what really makes a team work, right? We think we had a pretty good gamut and range there of episodes. So remember, we're just getting started with these. Be sure to check out our upcoming best of lists. Again, NHL guests, other pro guests, episodes for goalies, parents, players, and more, all coming at you on our 400 celebration. I'm Lee Elias. Thanks for joining us. Remember, we'll see you next time on Our Kids Play Hockey. Enjoy your hockey. Enjoy your week. Skate on, everybody.